joining me. I've been working on this desk for the last week or two and I'm not quite finished, just a little bit longer to go, but I wanted to take a break from it, so I'm like, what can I do now? And I have some leftover decoupage paper and I have a clock face, and I'm thinking, I might just make a clock to go with it. So come on, come and join me and we'll make a clock together.
Welcome back to the work table. So the products that we're going to need to make the clock today that matches the writing desk, we will need a clock working. So this is just a kit that's got the plywood, the handle, the hands and the mechanism at the back. We're going to need to use the leftover offcuts that I had from the decoupage that I did on the writer's desk. This one is leftover from foil bird. We're going to need some little ladybirds that I made. These will be for the hours on the clock. So these were just made from the IOD dewdrop pond molds, and that's the little ladybird just there. I made 12 of those. These were just made out of air dry clay. If you don't have the mold, you can definitely just go to the hardware store and just buy little wooden beetles. They will be fine. Okay, so that's the main parts of the clock, and then we're going to be using the paints that I used to paint the table with, the writer's desk. So we've got the My Frenchy Blue, we've got fresh sheets, I've got some Mod Podge that I'll be using to put the decoupage paper onto the clock face. Now we will be using the iron-on method, and then I've decided I'm going to also use some of this. This is like a metallic pigment powder. This brand is El Greco that I bought from Flexiwood Australian Mouldings, and then this is the varnish that goes with it. We'll start, shall we? Okay. So first things first, just take the clock out of the packet. And the clock workings I got from my local Kmart, and I think it was about $9.50. But you could probably get just a normal cheap clock and use that. So it looks like we can't take the backing off. I was hoping to be able to pull this back bit off, so then I can just easily paint the front and iron over it, but it looks like we're not going to be able to, so that's okay. We'll just do with what we can. So I've just got the fresh sheets. And the reason why I'm painting the front of the clock white is because that's where I'm going to decoupage. And then if you have a white background, it makes the pattern on the paper that little bit brighter. And especially if you've got a light pattern, you won't be able to see the dark wood underneath, which not so bad for this one because it is actually a light coloured wood. Now that the paint's all dry, we need to do our layer of Mod Podge, and this is what will adhere the decoupage paper to the clock. So just do a nice thick layer. One good thing, at least the back of the clock, the workings of it, gives us a nice little handle to be able to work with and hold the clock with. Now that Mod Podge layer is all dried, we can then start preparing the paper. So as I said, this is Foil Birds, mint by Michelle. And this is just some leftover that I had from when I was decoupaging my writer's desk. Okay, oh, the piece fell out. Okay. So this is the piece that I have left. Okay. So I turn it around so I can see. Now I need to place it. So I want as much of the bird in as possible, and unfortunately I now have to deal with this little knob thing in the middle. I was hoping that I would just be able to do a flat decoupage, but because we can't get this out, it makes it a little bit trickier. but we can definitely work around it. Okay, so I want to try and get as much as the bird as I can. So I think that's just right on the edge there. Okay. So I've got my little craft iron. Okay, so with some baking paper or parchment paper, we put it over the area that we're going to iron. This will protect the paper from burning. And what we're wanting to do is just iron the paper, so then the glue underneath will melt and adhere the paper to the clock. And now we'll just get some sanding pads and just sand off the paper. Might use the medium one. And then we have our clock. When I made the table, I actually distressed the paper a little bit, so we can do that now. I've just got some fine sandpaper and we will just run it over. So now we'll put the clock away and we will start painting the little ladybirds. So I have some of this metallic powder and I have a little bit of this gilding varnish, and we will start painting. Now we get the clock base, and we're just going to put a little bit of the gold on the edges. Big hand goes at the bottom, the hand goes there, the hand goes there like that. So now we're going to glue the ladybirds on. All we need to do is to wait for it to dry, and then we can seal it. And I'll be drying it with this sealer here.